Thank you for joining us for the 2-minute drills. I'm Aram Talegian, San Gabriel Valley Newspaper Group football writer, joined by San Gabriel Valley Tribune prep sports editor Fred J. Robledo. Freddie, this is turning out to be one heck of a Friday night, one heck of a weekend coming up in the Valley. We've got a big one going on at Citrus. We didn't kind of see this one coming, though we probably should have.
Right.
West Covina, on the heels of its huge win over South Hills last Thursday night.
Victory Thursday night.
2-1, going to Citrus College to take on Glendora, 3-0. I mean, what else can you ask for?
Yeah, you look at West Covina, how they were able to handle South Hills. I mean, just running the ball up their throat, doing whatever they wanted with them. Their defense, especially, I was really impressed with how they were able to handle South Hills and really keep them under control. And this is a big test for them, Aram. When I look at the big picture, when we're talking about West Covina, when we look at the Southeast Division and what are their chances with so many teams playing well, like, you have Bonita playing well, and there's several others. The one question mark I have about West Covina, and you kind of brought this up in the game, is what happens if they fall behind?
Right.
What happens if they play a team that can really throw the ball around the park like Glendora can?
Yeah.
We don't know that yet. The game you can look back to maybe is a Covina game where they gave up those 3 touchdowns in the final 4 minutes and they lose a game. Is that something that West Covina is susceptible to? That pass-happy team or that team that can get on them? And can they rally their team back? Because as good as George Johnson is, he's really better with his feet. He's really better at controlling the game and not making mistakes. He isn't really someone that we've seen so far that's going to lead you down the field in a 2-minute drive to win a game.
Right.
So if West Covina can control the clock, if they can control the line like they did against South Hills, and they're very capable against Glendora. They've beaten the Tartans the last 2 years. If they do that, they can win this game.
But on the other hand, you have Glendora, which is 3-0. They've played the better schedule overall. I mean, they have wins over Charter Oak, they have wins over Monrovia, they have a win over Canyon. They have Chad Jeffries, arguably the best QB in the area, and they have a great coaching staff. Freddie, man, this is a really tough one to call, so let's get right into it.
Well, and another thing I like about Glendora is Corey Victoria. He's a guy not getting enough credit, averaging 107 yards a game. He really balances that offense out for him. When I look at Glendora, they've done well defensively. They've just allowed 14 points in their last 2 games, and that's again, 7 points to Monrovia, 7 points to Canyon. Against Charter Oak, they held them pretty good, 21 points, and that's we're learning now is
they've
a
been
pretty
the beneficiary.
high-flying offense that they've played.
They've also been the beneficiary of a lot of turnovers. Charter Oak turned it over a bunch of times. Monrovia did too. I mean, hey, you can't fault them for that. I mean, they're a team that takes the ball away, puts pressure on, takes the ball away. Who do you got?
I like Glendora. As much as we're saying this, I like Glendora. I've been sold on Jeffrey since the season opener. I kind of called that against Charter Oak. I thought they were going to win. I think this is a game after the last 2 years. Losing to West Covina, that's a game they definitely won at home. This is a team I think now this year, Aaron, has a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They're the ones who's being sent away all the way to the baseline league. They're the ones after these non-league games are through are going to be playing all these teams out there that we don't get to see it. Them play each other against other area teams. So I think this is important for Glendora, for area bragging rights, to win these local games while they have them until they get in the league. And this is the last big one on their schedule. They can get this one. You're talking about beating West Covina. You're talking about beating Charter Oak, Monrovia on the other side. They've done what they've had to do locally. Now it's about go getting the baseline. And I think Friday night they take it.
Right. I'm picking West Covina, Fred. I have not learned my lesson picking against Coach Pasquarella through the years yet. I just think West Covina at the line of scrimmage is just too much. Their guys get outside and they're gone. It's hard for me when I see a team win the way West Covina did over South Hills to pick against them. So that's why I've got West Covina. So there you have it. We're split on this game. Freddie's got Chad Jeffries and the Tartans. I've got George Johnson and the Bulldogs. Get out to that game, 7 o'clock on Friday night at Citrus College. Should be awesome.